The most inappropriate and disrespectful question you can ever ask someone you meet for the first time in a business setting is, where are you from? Many business people, let alone well-meaning individuals, wrongly, very wrongly, think that this question is an icebreaker and a very nice and light conversation starter. It's anything but, and this is why. What would the origin of someone tell you about that person in 2023? That, let's say, because they were born in Scotland, they must love whiskey? Or, for instance, because they were born in Italy, they surely must love pizza and pasta and have deep ties with the mafia? Or even better, because they were born in Pakistan, they must be supporting the Taliban regime in Afghanistan, so therefore you should not be seen with them. How would your finding out the birthplace of that someone make you interact with them differently? Because they come from an emerging country, for instance, one with less resources than the one you are from, this means that they are less capable or less intelligent than you are, so therefore you should probably speak slower than you usually do because you know they cannot possibly understand complex constructs. If they tell you where they are from, as in where they were born some time ago, does this make them less interesting, less entertaining? Or, on the contrary, you would expect them to put on a show and behave as per your deeply ingrained prejudices against that particular nationality or country? There is nothing worse than meeting someone for the first time and making them feel like they are on defense and on guard. If we are to put ourselves in the other person's shoes when asked this seemingly innocent question, it's anything but, by the way, whether we are aware of it or not. How would we feel? Would we immediately be made to feel like our worth and value are judged right there and then based on something we had or we have absolutely no control over? In an exceptional book on the hermeneutics of citizenship, Atalia Omer, PhD, discusses the divide between Israelis and Palestinians and the role citizenship plays in conflict and peace building alike. The bigger question is, if there were no passports, how would we engage with someone we met for the first time? For those born in Western democracies, where are you from is seldom seen as a major issue at conscious level. At unconscious level, at that level where our deeply ingrained bias dwells, the answer to that question is often paramount to the way we would treat and interact with someone from a less pure background. Just like racial and sexual discrimination and bias are abundant these days, xenophobia and its various extremist versions, religion being a major part of those, our unconscious bias takes over and we forget, or we simply do not care, that someone from Pakistan loves, hurts, and smiles the same way as someone born in Washington or in London or in Frankfurt does. For those who work in change management roles, for those who work in multinational businesses, and for those who work in international business development, the cultural quotient is an enormously powerful ability to master. The anecdotal evidence, and not only about Western expats failing royally in other geographies, is in abundance. Why? Because they lack the humility to respect and understand the others, and the desire to learn what makes the other tick, hurt, love, smile, and laugh. Just like "Are you married?" or "Do you have any children?" are not questions you would normally ask someone you met 5 minutes ago, so is "Where are you from?" It's personal and very private. When someone wants to share their life story with you, should you create the right conditions for it, they will tell you not only where they are from, but also what they had for breakfast and what they intend to have for dinner. Profiling is not for the novices or for those who assume they can decide in less than 10 seconds whether someone is worth their while or not. It takes a lot of training and an incredible amount of self-control to create safe spaces in formal conversations, spaces that allow someone to be at ease and open up. Where someone was born tells you nothing about the road they traveled and what they have learned along the way. But if you ask that question when you should not, it tells them a lot about you, about your lack of sensitivity and cultural awareness, and about your manners and arrogance to assume that you got them figured out. Each and every one of us is a mix of life experiences, good or bad, exposure to various people and situations, personal values, and deeply held beliefs. Geography and passports seldom tell you the whole story. In many cases, they don't even scratch the surface of who we are. And if you are looking for an icebreaker or conversation starter with someone you are itching to profile, ask them about how their journey was on their way to meet you. They'll probably tell you what means of transport they used, or depending on the who and where you meet and why you are meeting that person, how used they are to traveling like that. Their thoughts on a situation you both know well, political, professional, geopolitical, their upcoming weekend or holiday plans, their outfit. A compliment goes a very long way for any passport holder. There is a lot you can use and ask to profile someone and to gain genuine, not fight or flight reactions, insights into that individual other than asking a question you should never ask. For anything related to multiculturalism or cross-cultural communication, read everything you can by Professor Emeritus Gerd Hofstede, PhD. His seminal research on cross-cultural groups and organizations is unparalleled. To find out more about the nuance of dialogue and small talk, let alone that of body language and micro-expressions, read Henry Kissinger's Diplomacy. If nothing else, always try to remember Maya Angelou's outstanding advice. People will always forget what you did, people will always forget what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel. My name is Alaminti, and I would like to thank you for being here today. Power and influence is a journey, and I would love to have you with me on it. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to subscribe to this channel. And if you have any comments, thoughts, or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. Thank you.